All right. We are live, Madeline.
Oh, we are live. Hello,
We're
Andrew.
live. So we are live streaming. This is our first Monday delivery. We call it Monday Cheddar weekly podcast.
Yes.
So our community manager, Madeline, is right across from me.
Hello, Andrew. How are you?
So good. And
Good.
we are live streaming to all of our Facebook groups and our pages for mainly anybody in the military, anybody have a recruit at boot camp or
Yes.
someone active duty service. We're going to be talking
Right.
about a really important topic today. And so we are trying to live stream this to all of the social media channels. So bear with us if
Fingers crossed.
this doesn't come across. But I'm going to look at my phone, Madeline, and I do see us. So we are live. Okay,
Perfect. Great.
awesome. So we came on a couple minutes
Yes.
early just to test everything out. But I am
Yep.
Andrew. I am actually the founder of Monday Delivery. You guys have probably heard of that. I'm a Marine Corps veteran. And Madeline, you want to introduce
Hi.
yourself a little bit?
Yes, I am Madeline. I am now the new community manager for MondayDelivery.com. I'm very excited for that. And I'm actually the daughter of a Green Beret Army soldier,
All right, Jason.
Jason.
We'll have him here in the podcast one of these days.
We'll try to get him here. Yeah.
So, so we are going to have a little bit of a presentation for you. We
Yes.
know there are a lot of family members out there that have recruits at boot camp, whether
hmm
Coast Guard, Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force,
Air Force. There you
and
go.
Space Force. But
Yes.
Space Force is under Air Force, so they all go to the same Lackland Air Force Base. So feel free to put questions in
hmm
as we go through this. And like I said, we started, and actually mine is not coming up. So hopefully you see the questions.
Okay. The chat box is there. I haven't seen anything
All
yet.
right.
So,
So if you do have questions, go ahead and send them over. If we cannot see them, we will look at them after this and get back with you. So
yes.
bear with us with our technology here. And so want to welcome everyone here. We're going to do this weekly, not on OPSEC PERSEC every week, but next week we're going to be doing resources and benefits.
Yes.
So all of the resources and benefits, not only for your active duty service member or your recruit, but you as a family member.
hmm
And so every Thursday we will pick a new topic, and I think you'll really enjoy it. You can also view this on mondaydelivery.com/. Uh-oh, I think I forgot what the website is. Anyway, I'll put it up here in a second. So we also have it there as well. You can go to our Monday Delivery Facebook page,
yes.
our Monday Delivery Twitter
hmm
page, and see it there as well. So actually, let me just pull up that link.
Perfect.
So there it is. It's Monday Cheddar podcast.
Okay, I do see someone. Good morning. Hello.
Oh, we actually have. All
I'm not
right.
seeing any profile yet, but from Facebook, good morning. So good morning to you.
All right. I don't know if their names come across. I
Not
think that is the
sure.
settings. So I am going to add that link down here at the bottom. So, all right. So that's the link right there. If you
There
want
you
to
go.
join us on just our website, you can go
Mhm.
to mondaydelivery.com, monday-cheddar.podcast. So
Yes.
what time is it? It's 10:59. So we will start 30 seconds.
Christina
Hey,
Childs
I'm
in the
going
group.
to,
Hello, Christina. Hello, Angie. Good morning. Hello.
Madeline and I have been working together for the last 3
Yeah,
years.
I feel like it's 3 years.
Yeah. So
Yes.
and just to let you know, Monday Delivery, we're headquartered in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
And we support, obviously, we have our postcards and all of that, but our main objective is to provide support, encouragement, and our faith with you. And speaking of that,
Yes.
Madeline, we are a faith based company. And
We
so I
are.
do want to start us out with a little prayer.
Let's do it.
So,
Yes, that'd be
all
great.
right. Dear Father, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for this amazing opportunity to use technology to just reach so many people and help them to stay encouraged and have faith and know that their recruits or their active duty service member or their veterans, that they're in good hands. And that we know, Lord, that you're with them at boot camp and helping them all the way through to graduation. And we just ask you to be with us today and let your words be the words that everyone hears and to provide help and support to all of our families. In your name, amen.
Amen.
All right. Thank you. That's the benefit of having your own private company, right?
That
Blink
is
and pray.
actually. Yep. I know. Very, very nice.
All right, let's jump into this.
All right, here we go.
All right, this is a lot of information. Kind of kept it short. I have a couple of games in here that we can play because I know OPSEC and PERSEC is not always an exciting topic,
No, not always.
but it's exciting. And Madeline, your dad has been through a lot.
Yes, he has. Yeah, Special Forces, Green Beret, Army soldier. So OPSEC was like the number one thing in our family, and still is
Still is
today.
today.
He is still on top of this.
All right. So no one what you had for breakfast.
Exactly.
So, but this is very important. And sometimes we kind of joke a little bit about it, but we take it very serious.
Uh-huh.
And we just want to give you some good tips and best practices. And as always, with every good presentation, we have a disclaimer, right?
Yes.
So the following information follows the guidance of the Department of Defense and government. However, our opinions, images, content is not officially endorsed by the DoD or military command. So
Yep.
always visit with your service member. That's probably the number one way.
Yeah. That,
Um, to understand what their protocol is,
right.
or your
Yep.
local command. When in doubt, don't share, and just ask an admin if you're in one of our Facebook groups.
We're here to help.
So just trying to get that big disclaimer out. There are a lot of Facebook groups out there, a lot of pages. They all have their own rules. They all have their own somewhat
yeah.
definitions.
Yeah. Right.
So if you are in a group or a page and you're confronted, just ask us. We'll tell you.
Yep.
So we just tell you not to freak out. So
Yeah.
our agenda today, we call it that. We're going to go over some definitions, tips on social media, official Facebook pages and groups, Q&A. You can also record, watch this recording afterwards on mondaydelivery.com
Yes.
/Monday cheddar dash podcast.
There you go.
So
almost there.
You know what? We didn't, we are fancy here. We even have music
We have
that we can
music.
play here. Even put that
We can Got to get used to the tech.
All right, let's jump into this.
All right.
And I'm going to give Madeline a little bit of a pass. I kind of threw her into this, so I'm the geek with the definitions here. So,
Pass it to you.
all right, you don't have to write this down. You don't have to memorize this. There will be no test at the end. Yeah, there's kind of a test.
A little quiz.
So, OPSEC. What is OPSEC? Operational security. I'm just going to use the big bolded word there, critical information.
Yeah.
So OPSEC is operational. It's more about your active duty service member or your recruit. That's why it's called operational.
Mm-hmm.
There is still components that family members need to remember. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But that OPSEC is how to keep a recruit, even in training, but more specifically on deployment and active duty,
right?
How to keep safe and how to keep information safe.
Yep, exactly.
So I'm sure your dad, again,
very, very on top of this, especially as well. He was, gone just when people asking us questions, anything, just making sure we understood, like, hey, it's not like a scary thing, but make sure you're just, keeping it in mind always because that keeps them safe even when you're not close with them. So
yeah, you got to be vigilant. And
Yeah.
So everything we're going over really isn't any different from just regular life. And so a lot of this we say is common sense, but we understand that as a family member, you can get excited, get overwhelmed, especially if you're not used to the military. And so,
right.
So critical information, we're going to talk about that in a second, but just imagine you yourself as the adversary, as the enemy,
Yep.
and what information they would want to look for, what they could do with it. And everybody knows social media, it just can be really tricky.
Yes.
And there's a lot of, we call them scammers or whatever that.
Yeah, unfortunately, especially on social media.
So let's get into PERSEC. So PERSEC is personal security. This is more just common sense stuff we practice every day.
Yep.
But again, just in the military, personal security is just some more information that's more personal to your recruit or active duty service member or yourself. Again, some of it's common sense. But here's an example. When the service member receives a letter or package from a loved one, they will mark out the names and addresses with a Sharpie.
Yes.
So my mom actually tears the addresses off and puts them in a shredder.
Nice.
So it's a good practice.
Yeah.
And that's what, Madeline, we're talking about today, just habits.
Yep, habits. Exactly.
That we get into.
I mean, my dad still has these habits. It's just ingrained in his mind. I mean, he'll burn receipts, he'll block
Mm,
out names, addresses, phone numbers, just as a, especially with like paper trail or like social media. It's once you get into the habit of it, you start to just naturally do it and think
yeah.
about it. So it seems like a big thing sometimes, I think, at first, like, especially when I was younger, because I was really young when my dad was in the military. But as you go along through the years, it just becomes natural, easy habit to do.
Yeah, I think it is a good habit, even past military days. And
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
but that's good. So if you get a letter from your recruit or active duty service member, get in the habit, cross that address off, burn it, whatever you want to do with it. Um, don't put it on social media,
No.
and we'll talk about addresses here in a second. But the basic ones, financial
Yeah.
security clearances is a big one.
Yes. Yes.
A lot of your recruits, your active duty service members have or will be getting their security clearance,
Right.
and depending on the type of job they have. And so you want to talk in generalities, and we'll talk about that
Mm-hmm.
in a second.
Yeah.
Deployment dates, location, things like that. Countdowns, I'm just going to touch on that really quickly. I should have had
Okay.
a picture of that. So
Yeah.
countdowns are 10 days to my loved one gets back from deployment, 9 days, 8 days, 7 days.
Right.
So obviously, that's a good indication to the enemy of when our deployed service members are coming back.
Yes.
So, count down to your birthday. You can do that. I don't
That's a good
know.
thing. I mean, a
So,
little bit. Yeah.
you can do your own personal countdowns, but don't do it
Yes.
on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of groups, Facebook groups out there and pages that they will kick you out. Sometimes they don't even give you a
They
second
will.
chance. So,
Exactly.
in our groups, we give you definitely a second chance. So we'll let you know that.
Right. And like, no, it's not like about like being upset with you or anything because we know how exciting it is, and like
Exactly.
I know that feeling, and it's more just like hey, we're trying to look out for you and protect whatever we can, as much information as we can.
Yeah, and countdowns is a good habit to get into. So that doesn't mean you can't say, "My loved one's coming back from deployment. I'm
Please
excited to
share
see."
that.
Yeah, you can.
Please, yes.
And just one thing: recruit dates. So graduation dates. When you're in a Facebook group, private group, especially ours,
Yeah.
you can talk about dates in there, like graduation dates and things. Ask questions. As long as we keep it in our group, but just know that there can be people that sneak into our groups.
Right.
Um, but on the most part, try to leave exact dates and countdowns out of any kind of social media posts.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
all right. Any questions out there? Just let us know. All right. I'm going to give you just some things I always think about. So, first of all, don't be nervous about per second OPSEC.
No.
So, you can get wound up about it. You can get disciplined on a Facebook group or page or a spouse group or network, and it can make you feel really horrible. But do not let it get you down.
Right.
Um, Now, my next statement, I got to be careful. It's really hard to violate these things, like especially as a parent. And it's really hard to get your recruit or your active duty service member in trouble. So I just want you to remember that you'd really have to cross a line in order to, like, I'm
Yes.
air quoting, you guys can see me, I guess, to violate um, OPSEC or PERSEC.
Right.
So
Right.
so please do not worry about it and
Yeah.
just
It's more just don't panic. It's like if you do post something, it's okay. Like it's not like a immediate like danger
yeah,
zone right away.
you had a mom that, another group said, "Oh, you can't post that picture," and she took all the pictures off of her entire social media
Oh
down,
wow.
and so she kinda went to the extreme.
Yeah, you don't need to do that. Don't worry
So
about that.
don't believe everything you hear. So what's that saying? Don't believe what you hear and half of what you see.
I believe that's it.
Yes.
Yes.
So again, there's a lot of you could ask 1,000 people what OPSEC is, and you give you 1,000 different
Right.
deals. So don't believe everything you hear, and don't spread rumors. Don't gossip. That just gets these groups all riled up when we do that. All right, send mail. Share addresses with those you trust. So there's
Yes.
nothing wrong with sending mail to your recruit or to your active duty service member, and you can share that address. It's not just if you have son, daughter, grandchild at boot camp. Tell your families, aunts, uncles, best
Absolutely.
friends. Yeah, so I mean, anybody can write your recruit, um, as long as your recruit wants them to write them. So,
Yep.
you can share that. Again, don't put it on. I would not put your address on social media. What I would do is you can create a private group for yourself
Yes.
and
Yep.
invite your
Those you
families.
trust.
Yes.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And use that as your recruit Facebook group.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
That's
so
a good
that's
idea.
another cool way to, and then you can share photos, you can do whatever you want. It's your group.
Yep.
It's a private
And you're
group.
able to maintain who you trust and like who you allow in. So that's always a really
Yeah,
smart way.
absolutely. All right. Be general when speaking about your service members' jobs and locations. We talked a little bit about that earlier. So one nice phrase is, "What is your recruit or your active duty service member or your recruit going to do?" Work in communication. They're stationed abroad.
There you go.
You know, in the military, if you're deployed, sometimes you say, "I'm out in the ocean," or "I'm out on an island somewhere," or
As
in
my
the
dad used to
desert.
say, I'm overseas
Yeah,
right
I'm
now.
overseas. So speak generally. Now, again, this is kind of coming from me. If they're at ABC Air Force Base, you can say that. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's you're not gonna get into that much detail. So,
No.
oh, my recruit's at Lackland. He's going to Paris Island. He's at
Yeah,
Cape May,
yeah,
New Jersey.
absolutely.
So, okay, share on Facebook. So, but follow the page group rules,
Yes.
follow common sense, follow OPSEC and PERSEC. In our groups, we love when you share photos of your recruits.
Yes. And I actually have a question here from
Oh,
Andrea Wickler. How about posting in uniform?
good question. All right, I'm going to answer that, but we have a little quiz later
All
on this.
right. We'll
So,
get back to it.
but the answer is yes.
Hmm.
Yes, you can have pictures in uniform. Um, there's so many little branches off of that question.
Right.
Um, I will just say, kind of technically, if you post somebody's picture on social media, if they have a name tag, one of the best practices is to black that out.
Yeah.
But that's not a violation,
No,
I
no.
believe, in PERSEC and OPSEC. So you can definitely post photos of your loved one in uniform. In fact, we encourage you to do that. I also go with the rule, if you go to the official Facebook pages of the military, they post thousands of photos
Absolutely.
with name tags.
Yep.
So just, if you want to follow a rule, I always follow the official page.
That's a
And
smart one.
so
Yep.
now the one thing you can't do in uniform, or I guess it didn't even have to be in uniform, is with weapons.
Yep. Exactly.
So you want to be careful when you're taking a picture of your recruiter graduation, which they won't have a weapon, but um, or on deployment, things like that. You want to keep out of the photo any kind of indication of where they are. So
Yes.
the obvious would be the name right behind them, a base
Right.
name.
Right.
But you want to try to keep it indescript. Is that the right word?
I think
Indescript. You want to kind
need
of
some English to be.
or dictionary. Um, so I hope that answered your question. We'll talk a little bit more about that
Absolutely.
in
Yep.
a second. But yes, we pay a lot of money for those uniforms. Take pictures.
We have pride, right?
Yeah,
That is an amazing picture to share.
my last tip: don't argue. Don't try to convince other people.
Yes.
Just stick to your personal policy.
Yep.
Move on. You know, but and let us know. We'll answer the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, reach out to admin. We can always help too.
All right, now I'm going to go kind of I hate to say these are the next two boring slides. So, but stick with us here. We're going to go through this. And these were, I got these from a different website that was recommended to me. And my screen is so small, I can't even I remember the name of the organization. So, but it is there on the slide there. I apologize, organization. So here are the 10 tips for mindful OPSEC PERSEC practices. And we'll go through these pretty quickly. So never share the 5 W's of troop movement. Madeline, what are the 5 W's?
Who, what,
Who,
where,
what,
when, and
where,
why.
when,
I
and
think we all learned
why.
that in
We
English
all learned
class,
that in
so
English class.
should
So
be
should be
pretty big. Pretty
there
big.
you go. So So troop troop movement
Mm-hmm.
movement probably
Probably
is
is
probably
probably
one of
one
the
of the
top
top
critical
critical
pieces
pieces
of
of
information you
information.
don't want to share.
Exactly.
And you can start with recruit training. So, for example, if they're going from graduation, like the Navy, they go from Great Lakes to the airport.
Right.
Technically, that's troop movement.
Yep.
And technically, they will turn their phones off when they're making that
Yes.
transition.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, that's the basic level of troop movement. So you want to try to keep that, especially going from A to B on this date. This is why they're going. This is how long they're going to stay. This
Yep.
is when they're coming back.
Yeah.
So 5 W's, easy breezy.
Who, what, when, where, and why.
Do not announce that your loved one is deployed. All right. Now some of these I'm going to kind of knock out both sides of my mouth here. So obviously you can tell your friends, family.
Oh yeah.
It doesn't have to be like unless it is top secret. So if your active duty service member says, "Do not tell anybody where I'm at." Well, don't tell anybody
Follow
where
the
they're at.
rules.
And knowing your dad, you probably didn't know where he was at.
No, we didn't. We never knew. I mean, even today, I'm sure I still don't know. It was very hard, for my mom because she'd get family members just asking and like begging. Wanted to know, and all in good faith, like in good faith, but like she couldn't say anything because that was very top secret.
Yeah. So all right. All right, I'm gonna leave that back on. Kind of playing around with our settings here. We have, I don't know if people can. Oh, oh, there we go. We need to use some of our technology.
I know. We'll have to figure it out though.
All right. Hey, just a quick note. We are doing a holiday special. If you want to text that number, holiday, 5 people are getting unlimited postcards for all of
Yay!
2023.
Wow.
So
That's
you don't like to
awesome.
write like I do. They want to send fun cards to your military service member and friends and
Yes.
family all year round. Text that, and we're going to announce the winners December 24th. So I'll
Christmas
leave that up
Eve.
for a few more minutes here.
Great.
But yeah, you can, just, on that deployment again until it becomes public.
Right. Yeah.
Once your airman, your Marine says, hey, it's fine, you can tell people, but that doesn't mean still blast it on social media.
Right. Again, just keep to who you
trust,
trust, your family, your close loved ones, like that circle for as long as possible. So
Yeah, and you know what? You can explain why you can't tell them. It's a good opportunity to educate other people.
yes, absolutely. I mean, when people know and understand, it's easier for them to. And again, remember, everyone's excited. I get it. Like, and they just want to know. My family, a lot of time wanted to know so they could pray for him specifically. But again, if you explain it to them, most people start to understand and be like, oh yeah, absolutely, and they'll think generally, and they can still be excited and be proud
There you go.
of that.
All right. All right, let's move on to, although it's safer. Oh, I think this is just a little example of it. It's safer that, say my hubby, I copied this from somewhere. So said my hubby deployed, then said my hubby deployed yesterday. So ask yourself if you really want a stranger to know that I will be home alone with my kids for a long period of time.
That is, yeah. It's about recruits. It's about your loved ones being deployed, but it's also about you protecting your family as well when you're here. So.
Yep. It's kind of morbid, but my father was a pastor. That's not morbid. But same scenario. When people knew there were funerals, they would know the house would be unattended.
Yep.
So I used to do a lot of house sitting for or weddings.
Right. Right.
So yeah, you just don't want to let people know that I'm home alone or I'm not home. So do not share specifics about, or do not post specifics about unit deployment locations. Again, go back to our 5 Ws.
Mm-hmm.
Do not share specifics about unit names.
Correct.
And when it comes to ships, too, you can share the ship. So again, at one point, something will become public, like the USS Enterprise is deployed and wherever. You can share that, but again, you don't want to get into the details.
Right.
Of, oh, my son's on there. He's a staff sergeant. He's top secret clearance. Does this, does that. So, all right, let's go on to the next 5.
All right.
All right, so let's get through these kind of quick. Avoid sharing pictures that show your service member's name and insignia. All right, we talked about it a little bit. That's not. It's on here because it's good practices.
Yes.
But do not delete all your photos that you've already posted and take them down. In 99% of the time, where you've posted them are probably fine and safe.
Absolutely.
If you go to Instagram, I mean, I'm not saying when I give you examples, it doesn't mean it's right or wrong. But even active duty service members post tons of photos of them, like Marine Corps just had the Marine Corps ball.
Yes. Yeah.
All of them, they're dressed blues. They're proud. They want to show off that uniform. So again, just depending on the scenario or the situation, you might want to block them out, but that's not hard and fast, but just a good practice.
Yeah, a good practice.
Avoid engaging with geo-tracking accessories like checking in on Facebook. That's a good practice, especially if you're going to a base.
Yes. Yep.
So now if you're going to the commissary every other day, I guess you don't have to turn off your tracker.
No.
Avoid posting subtle remarks about your spouse's duty or mission while deployed.
Yeah, that's a big one. Again, like I said, we didn't really know anything of what my dad was doing, just that he was overseas.
There you go. Now this segues into, it's good to get into spouse groups.
Yes.
And that's why some of these Facebook pages and groups are really important. But if you're a spouse, try to find a spouse network in your area. That way you have people to talk to.
I know it's always very helpful if you have the people around you. Again, the people you trust, and
Yeah.
those groups are
Going through the
very
same thing.
encouraging and supportive. So
Um, Prayers, please. So you just talked about that. So again,
yeah,
pray for my husband. He's on a mission tonight. But you don't want to announce where that is or what type
exactly.
of mission
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
So, number 9, keep your countdown. Okay, we talked about clock that countdowns. Keep them private. But again, you can say, "I'm looking forward to graduation on this
Yes,
date." If you're in a private Facebook group,
correct.
we
Right.
would not discipline you for that.
No, no, no.
Uh, so, and the last one, avoid sharing the service members' job specifics or roles during deployment. More importantly, security clearance.
Yes, absolutely.
So, uh, all right, let's move on. I don't want to go too long for all you folks. Okay, here's some important things. There are a lot of, I don't know any other word, but scam websites, pages, groups out there. Best practices is to always look for .mil. I don't even know if there's a .dod. I put it on there. I don't think there is.
Maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, but .gov. Those are telltale signs of that's an official site.
Official.
Yeah, so that would be if you're going to an internet site. This happens to be the Marine Corps one I put up here.
Yep.
That one I know, and all the branches have their own rules for social media. And so if you really want to get into it, there's a lot you can read. Never pay or provide personal information for live stream or photos. Let me repeat. Never pay for a live stream or group graduation.
No.
It is free if they have it.
Yes.
There are hundreds of people, thousands, that put up fake Facebook groups and pages
Uh-huh. Yeah.
and try to now the exceptions, all right, sometimes we'll do an event and we'll do a watch party.
Yes. Yeah.
So if you're in a group and they have an event, but even then, do not pay.
No.
I mean,
No.
unless you're raising money and the people or something.
Right. Again, who do you
Uh,
trust?
So do not pay. I mean, I know that we often ask for email addresses because we send you information.
Correct. Right.
So if it's a trusted source, but again, there are very few cases where you would actually have to pay for something.
Yes, absolutely.
And you never have to pay for live stream.
No.
Never, ever,
No.
ever, ever, ever. On Facebook groups and pages, a lot of people will, some legitimate, some not, will ask for donations to help them get to graduation or this or that.
Right.
We tend to try to weed those out and send them private messages to a resource that can help them.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
So do not donate to anything in these groups or pages again, unless an admin is specifically saying this is
A
legitimate.
trusted source or
Yep.
yeah, exactly.
So, all right, I want to talk a little bit more about. Okay, now we have put together a website. We are putting it together.
In the process.
In the process, but it is up right now.
Yes.
Facebook
Yeah.
dash groups. These are the official websites. All right, now if I can scroll down, which I can't, I have all the Navy RTC PIR groups under there. And I
Yep.
haven't let Madeline know that she's going to start helping me do this.
Oh,
So
exciting.
because we change every week or two. But we work with one of the larger groups and pages for PIR. Carolyn, I won't say her last name for PERSEC reasons, but Carolyn's amazing, and so we're going to work with her to make sure we get her groups up so that you're going to the right group for the right
Yes.
PIR.
Yep.
So for Navy people, that's passing review or non-Navy. Yeah, but so you can check this out. I don't have everything on here. Sometimes we'll put a group. It's not an endorsement to these groups. It's just the best resource that we have found.
Yes, absolutely.
So, and they're going to have their own rules. So just
Keep
because
a lookout for them.
we do something in our group may be different from what they do on their group. So, all right. All right. Our first quiz.
Oh,
Which is the official RTC, Recruit Training Command Facebook page? So, TikTok, we'll give a couple seconds here. Now, I did a search. Actually, I should have shown that first. I did a search on Facebook like everybody else does. I put RTC Great Lakes Boot Camp. These two came up. A lot more came up, but I just took a screenshot of those two. And of those, actually, both of those are scams, the ones on that previous slide. But on this
On
slide,
this slide.
which one do you think is the real deal, Madeline? You haven't
Oh,
seen this.
I haven't seen this yet. Oh dear. I'm on the spot now. I'm gonna maybe guess the top one.
The top one is correct.
There we go.
So, one way you can see how many followers do they have, for one, and it has military base. So there are settings in Facebook, like Instagram has verified, I think, and so look for those verification
Yeah, Aaron
signs.
got it. It's the one with more than 19 followers.
There you go. So, but when you you'll see a ton of these, and they'll use it the same logo.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. Here's another way you can tell. As Aaron said, you can look at how many followers they have. But what's their information over here?
Yes. Yep.
So, and I will say most of these pages actually will respond back if you send them a message.
Yeah.
So if in doubt,
When in doubt. Yeah.
yeah, ask. Another thing about Facebook pages, these official ones, even if they have links because they let people comment, do not click the links. Do not click a link on any of these Facebook pages unless you see it's from admin.
Correct.
Yep.
Right.
So, because these scam folks will get in here, especially the day of graduation, and they'll just
Yes.
flood it, live stream, live stream, live stream.
Yep. Exactly.
I promise you, RTC is never going to do that. So, all right, so that's a good way to see it. Look how many followers, look how long the group page has been up.
Look for their information, like what's under their email, phone, what is their website. Check the website. And again, when in doubt, you can always message them.
Yep. So, all right. All right. Here's some 4 or 5 quizzes. All right.
Wow.
If I remember, we had some automation, but when we uploaded it to the system, the automation didn't work.
Didn't work so well.
All right. Is this picture a violation of PERSEC or OPSEC? This is a tricky one. This is why I put this on here. Now, I know the person I just told don't take pictures with weapons is going to say it's a violation. So, but is this a violation? I don't know if anybody can answer us. Technically, I would not post it if I had taken the picture, and that's my recruit. This happens to be one off the official page of
Interesting.
Air Force.
Yeah, because Aaron said yes, there is a weapon. I would say I would have said yes too, because just because there is a weapon.
Yeah, yeah. So
But it's on the official.
it's on the official page. They put it out there. This is training.
Okay.
But as a mom or dad, I probably
you
wouldn't
yourself
post it. Yeah.
No.
So I put this one on here on purpose. So this
We
is
started with a trick question, Andrew.
I know it. So, but is it technically a violation? Probably not. If it got any, like, yeah. So we'll just leave it at that. All right. Is this a violation of PERSEC or OPSEC?
I would say no.
Well,
I can't see close up if there's a name or not.
even if there is a name, but so it's not. So it's this person down here yelling out, "Yay! My son just graduated." So yes, take photos at boot camp graduation. This is actually in Lackland right here. So take pictures, take videos. All right.
Absolutely.
Now, if there is a violation, if there can barely be one. Maybe you wouldn't want another person in the background.
Right.
Right. But I'm going to tell you the rule about that here, the rule, my opinion on that in a second. But this one, totally fine. And I don't know
Love
who
it.
this is, but they posted it on Facebook, so fair game, right? Took it. So, oh, is this a violation?
I would say yes.
I put this in here kind of as a tricky one too. This is a violation, especially if there would be a name. I couldn't find a lot of photos, but if there was a base name on here or something like that, and you were posting like, "Look where my husband is working,"
Right.
that would not be good.
Even if there's not a caption, I think what I see is like landmarks. Even if you don't have a name, some landmarks can be very notable to people. So.
Yep. Now, I'm going to go out in left field here. If you're writing a blog post or an article, as long as you're not mentioning anybody's names, things like that. But yeah, you wouldn't want to attach a photo like this to your loved one's name.
Correct.
So, all right. A picture of an ID.
Oh, man.
What do you guys think? Is this a violation of PERSEC and OPSEC? So probably yes.
That would probably be a yes. Yeah.
So even in the private group, and Madeline said this a couple times, we get really excited and anxious, and we'll post. Like we've had a few people post a check, like, "Hey, is this?"
Right.
And they're just asking a legitimate question.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not anything we understand, like, excitement or that
Mhm.
need to know, like, information, but it's always important, especially pictures,
Yes.
especially with names, ID, anything like that.
So now, obviously, this came off Facebook or off the internet, but you're probably fake. So yeah, don't put IDs, don't put leave orders, don't put, you know, any type of invitation, things
Right.
like that. So, all right. I think we just have a couple more. Is this a violation? Picture of graduation, other recruits.
No, I would say no.
Yeah, no. Take pictures. This is Coast Guard. This is San Diego, and I think this is Paris Island.
Yeah, we love when we see families share these. This
Yeah.
is the
So,
most exciting time.
and let's see. I think this is the last one. So, this a violation? This is a tough
Mm,
one.
this is kinda tough. I would say no, but I don't know.
It is.
I would
It
say
is.
because the buildings in the background are a little bit
Well, all right. So this is another tricky one.
okay.
So when you're at boot camp, graduation, or you're just on a base,
Yeah.
it's recommended don't take pictures of people still in training.
Yes.
So you can see this is out of a window.
Right, right.
Now, I got this actually off kind of an official website.
But
So,
you yourself probably should not.
so there are groups out there that get access to base and they will
Yeah,
post
right.
pictures of your recruits. And there's Air Force has Aim High app and they post photos.
Okay, yeah.
Um, but you personally, if you're at graduation, do not take photos of recruits still in training.
Yeah,
So, and that's kind of what this reminded me of. You can take pictures of other recruits or other graduates. So, if
graduates, yep.
you're down on what we call the parade deck
Yes.
in that previous picture, you don't worry about who's in the background.
Right, exactly.
Yep.
They're all in uniform, they're all, together with the families.
Yep. So, I mean, but you may not want to, yeah, just you know, have some common sense. But don't be afraid. Don't show anybody a video because it has people in the background.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yep.
You can
So,
definitely share that.
all right. Any questions on
I will see.
OPSEC, PERSEC? A lot of information, but hope this helped.
I know.
So I know it helps me to go through it every once, and there is probably a lot more. And even from this, we're going to put the recording online, and people will probably say, "That's not right." So anyway, it is what it is. Again, we're not officially endorsed by anybody. This is from our experience
Yes.
working with other groups, other admin, and these are best practices. But number one, always talk to your new military service member. Once they graduate, talk about OPSEC and PERSEC.
Exactly, yep.
And it's an ongoing conversation. I mean, your dad's been out for a while. You guys still practice it.
We still practice it, and that's more my dad, he's always had that personality, but he really learned it, I think, while he was in training in special forces. Again, it was we built a habit of it. It wasn't like we started worrying about it like every day. Don't worry about it. You will always have questions. I still have questions. I mean, even now.
Yep.
But again, I think it's very important. Like if you do have questions, no question is a stupid question.
Yep.
Ask, and just kind of like I would like pause and think like, would I want that shared with people not outside my
Mhm.
bubble of like trust? And again, when you think about it, if you trust someone in your close family, it's always good. We understand that you're so excited and you're proud and you want to share those things. Just keep in mind, like, you keep it as basic as possible and you explain to people, um, like what's going on, why you have offset. People will start to understand and it'll become pretty out of habit.
Yeah. Yeah. They'll be like, pre who? Process what? What?
What are you talking about? And then that'll help you, I'm sure. I mean,
Yeah.
having to explain it to people, my mom definitely started to learn specific ways that helped people understand. So,
So learn from your recruit, learn from your service member. Don't be nervous, like Madeline said. Don't be overwhelmed. Be vigilant. And in our Facebook groups, even on ours, if you see people in there that don't belong, please report it to admin. If they're
yeah.
in there selling stuff, a lot of fake stuff is sold.
Yes, yeah.
If you see shirts and stuff like that, please report that.
Yeah, just tag me or Andrew in a post, Andrew and Madeline Beardsley. I'm there to, keep track of what's going on, and I can help out in any way I can. So, Aaron says very helpful. Thank you so
Hey,
much.
Eric, thanks.
Andrea asked, do you have contact info you could share with us?
Let's see. I'm going to put my email up there.
All right.
So let me get rid of this. Oops. Oh, where'd it go? Well, it's Andrew at mondaydelivery.com.
There you go.
And I can't get any simpler than that. Let me put it up here.
And I'm on Facebook, all the groups and profiles as Madeline Beardsley. You'll see the admin tag come up. So if you have questions, you need help with anything, just tag me, let me know.
Yep. And if you go to mondaydelivery.com,
It's up there now, Andrea, if you can see it, the email.
And if you go to mondaydelivery.com, there's a little chat like button at the bottom, and you can actually text us.
Yeah.
And it works really great, and it's easy for us to respond back to you.
Absolutely.
So go to mondaydelivery.com, click that text. Next Thursday, so we're going to try to do this every Thursday. We're going to talk about benefits and resources. We're going to talk about GI Bill. We're going to talk about health and benefits. We're not selling anything here,
Nope.
have any companies in here, but just watch things that you may not know about, especially if you're a spouse or you're a family member. How does your recruit get paid? Where does that money go? What's direct deposit? What's SGLI? SGL? SGLI. But I'm speaking over I got to have my notes in front of me. TSA is actually what I was thinking of. What is TSA? And I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's financial and it's very important. And your recruit and your service member needs to be enrolled in it. So TSA. And last thing, text holiday to that phone number to win unlimited postcards for 2023. Madeline,
Yay.
Thanks. This is our first.
Thank you, Andrew. I think it went pretty well so far.
If I had the music part, I would play it.
Exit out with music.
Exit out with music. So, all right. Thank you for attending.
Thank you, guys.
See you next Thursday. God bless you guys.
Yes,
Just
have a blessed day.
Please keep us informed if you have questions and celebrations.
Here for you.
Thanks.
Bye.